So, as the title says, and in my opinion, and again, you do not have to agree with my opinion, I do believe that Renner is one of the best written characters in Overlord. And the reason being is one, personal preference. I really do enjoy characters that are, as I would say, stir the pot type of characters. I mean, when you look at Dharma, a lot of people know that I'm a big fan of Freya because of how she stirs the pot, how she keeps the plot interesting and keeps the story going. Renner is very much similar to that. She is very much of a insane character, and I will say that the anime did a very good job at bringing Renner to life, and I will say that little extra bit with the singing and the dancing was just a really nice touch to add to her insanity, but also her achieving her goals, her objectives. And as much as I do believe that the author had more plans for her story, I still do really like the ending. But the thing is, even though I do believe there was more planned, the end result turned out the way I think he intended. And that's something that I think is quite prevalent throughout the light novels, is that even though the story is being cut short, most of the things aren't ending the way that he originally, well, always planned to, but just that the destination or how we get to that destination has slightly changed. So the end result is the same, but getting there was what was changed because of the shortening of the story. And I just like the way that she is one of those characters that, not just from an anime perspective, but also from a light novel perspective, especially the way the anime brought her face to life, and that psychotic, insane face that's so warped, and that, like, you could call it like a fake smile, but it's like just so warped, like the personality, the mind, but also the facial expression and the way she looks at Climb, and some of the things that she says about Climb, like how she doesn't really care if he had legs or arms, that she just wanted to be able to just have him there, like feed him like a dog. Like, I mean, we've been getting a lot of dog memes with recent animes airing, but that is definitely one of those where Climb is definitely the dog. He is the loyal puppy that was always on the leash from the very beginning. And I do like the way the author created Climb as well, because Climb is that hero type character. But because of how Overlord is done, is that friendship power is not going to win, and just because you're the hero and you're training as hard as you can, you'll never be able to overpower those that truly have a gift or just always stand above you. And that's what I liked about Climb's character. He was the writer used Climb as a way to poke fun at the hero type architecture when it comes to isekais or just stories in general, but particularly isekais, which I thought was just a nice, fun sort of spin to it. But at the end of the day, Climb basically got what he wanted. I mean, he did like Renner. He just was duty obligated to never pursue her as a relationship because she was the princess. He was just basically a squire in a sense, but he was the bodyguard, the better way to put it. But I kind of say squire because he always does her duties. Like, basically anything she asks, he will do. But now I think he kind of gets a little bit of what he wants, and he can be with her for all of eternity, and she gets what she wants. But she's not scared to dispose of anyone and anything that gets her in her way. And that's another thing that I like about what the author did there, was he just created such a warped character that's just fun to see play out. Now, as far as the things that I think that were meant to be added, this is more just rumors that I've heard, and it has to do with Blue Rose and Evil Eye, was that Blue Rose and Evil Eye were meant to die in the light novels, so the rumor says, but apparently, again, just rumors, that the writer was told that he wasn't allowed to kill off Evil Eye, so Blue Rose didn't die as well. And I believe that Renner was possibly going to be there for those last moments and kind of show that she did change sides, and it would put a bit of despair. I think something like that, not exactly like that, but I think some type of variation where Blue Rose and Evil Eye found out that Renner wasn't as kind-hearted and as gentle and as good-spirited as they perceived her to be, and that she was very much warped and she was just there for those last moments when they got completely massacred. That's how I think some of that's meant to go, but I don't believe any of that's really going to ever play out in that fashion, because we've only got 2 volumes left and there's not much left to really put into these volumes. And apparently the author said he's going to release these 2 volumes close together, so I think they're going to be kind of short, sweet, and to the point of what they will be covering, which I won't spoil. So I do believe that was meant to be a part of it. I also do believe Renner was going to play a more impactful role in helping some of the politics stuff going on with the world domination, but being that the author kind of wanted to speed the story up, a lot of that's kind of been thrown to the sideline and just kind of, she got a happy ending and that's the end that we'll hear about it. We might hear some minor stuff in the future volumes, like maybe passing remarks. She might be at a meeting, she might have some one-liners to throw out, and that's about it. You might see Climb walking next to her and that kind of thing. That's as far as I think her story is going to go. I think as far as their relationship goes, it is done and dusted, which is disappointing because I personally enjoyed her character and she was one of my favorite characters in the Overlord story. And as I said, in my opinion, I think she was one of the best written characters in these stories. So I also think the way the anime did portray her and some of the, like, the style of how they did it, especially at the ending with her transformation, was just brilliantly done. As I mentioned, the sort of singing and the dancing, I don't remember ever reading that in the light novels. Maybe I was completely tired and I forgot reading that, but I'm very, very sure that was never in the light novels, which is why I really liked how the anime did that, because it really portrays her getting her objective, because she doesn't care about anything. Like, her brother knew just kind of how warped she was, and yet she was willing to dispose everyone and anything as long as she could be with Climb. She threw the whole kingdom aside, gave everything to Nazarick or Ainz, and now serves Albedo. The other thing though too is that in the light novels it does kind of portray that Renner does destroy any of her good faith because she was holding back some of her intelligence, because she is a genius, and that this theatrical that she got Ainz to play along with, even though he didn't mind it, Albedo didn't like it, because Albedo doesn't like seeing Ainz being degraded or used in a fashion that's someone else's sort of little game that they were playing along. And so Albedo can get a little bit over the top, but I mean that's how Albedo's always been. Even though a certain setting has been removed, starting with B, I still kind of think that that's deep ingrained into her personality. Even though it's been removed, it's kind of like that little, it's like a footstep in the sand. Sure, the waves might wash some of it over, but there's still a little bit there of it. And I think that's the thing about Albedo, there's a little bit of that personality still deep ingrained, which is why she was a little bit rubbed the wrong way when it comes to what Renner did with the whole theatrical play. And I personally would have really liked to have seen some future development where what Climb's reaction would be afterwards. Like, how would he adapt to his new life serving Nazarick? Would he instantly adapt to it? Would he be willing to follow orders, or would he be a little bit reluctant, try and rebel a little bit and then get pulled into line? Or would he just be straight loyal, straight to the end and be like, you know what, we've lost, I'll serve Renner. Well, he's going to be Renner, so he doesn't care. Or what would happen if there was a reunion between him and Sebas, because Sebas serves Nazarick? I've seen some comments where people would say that would never happen, that Climb would never meet Sebas again. I think that would have been a kind of an interesting reunion, because Climb realizing that Sebas serves Nazarick would have helped him probably absorb the fact that who he serves now is extremely powerful, because he looked up to Sebas, he saw Sebas as super powerful. So then also seeing that he serves someone else even stronger would have just helped Climb being like, okay, I fall into line. And I think it would have been kind of nice to see a relationship between the two, and Climb learning from Sebas as well, because Sebas to me is a good teacher and he works with other humans really well. So I just think that relationship would have been nice, and it would have allowed Climb to serve Renner even better. And then she can kind of watch from afar and hopefully not be jealous, but just kind of enjoy those moments where Climb is adapting and falling into line. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think? What do you think in general about the relationship, her character? What do you think could have happened if there was more to be added? Because again, the author had many volumes planned, and to cut that many volumes, it would have been silly to sit there and think that we would have never seen any more of them at all. I mean, he hinted at like well and truly over 20 volumes. I mean, I'd say between 25 to 30 volumes that he was planning to do. I know some people say 50, but I think 25 to 30 would have been probably the sweet spot where he would have gone to if he really wanted to finish the story the way he intended. But due to other reasons, he's decided to finish at volume 18. So again, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more anime content, and I'll see you beautiful nerds